Hi, this is Brittany and you're watching Locked Queen Bee. Hi guys, it's Locked Queen Bee and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is my hair and give you an update on where I am today. So I started a set of locks at the end of April 2020 and my hair was about 3 inches, 3.5 inches, and I had a set of about 460 locks that I put in at the end of April. Sometime in July, mid-July, late July, I actually took down that set because there was an area over here that didn't really connect all the way around, and for whatever reason that day I was really picky about it. I didn't like it. It was after I had just gotten my retie, my second retie. I noticed it, freaked out, took everything down because of that one mistake, which sounds really crazy when I say it out loud and when you think about it. I took down that set mid-July, late July, and I basically spent about 3 to 4 months putting in a new set. I made about 4 or 5 attempts to start a new set, and there was always something about each set that I didn't like, which caused me to get about halfway through. So on the 4 or 5 sets that I started, I got probably about this much done of the back. So from the nape all the way to probably about here. Nothing in the front was done. And so I did that for about 4 or 5 times, and for some reason either the locks were too big, they were too small, I thought I was going to have too many, and so I ended up taking them down and just starting over. And what I wanted to focus on with the set that I was putting in, I really had it in my mind that I didn't want to go over 500 locks. I really wanted to be somewhere between 420 and 500 locks, and so that was really hard for me to kind of reproduce the set that I had in, where I had about 460 locks. And so I felt like each set that I was doing was basically going to be over 500 locks. And with this set that I have in, it is over 500, so it is a little bit more than I want. I have about 530. I counted, but I also made some changes after I counted, so I'm not sure of the exact number that I have right now. And so what is kind of cool about this set is that I took down my hair. I took down 4 months of knots basically in my hair, and my hair I was able to retain length, but my hair did feel a lot thinner. It felt, I don't want to say lighter, but it just felt like I lost some hair. Obviously I lost shed hair, but it felt like my hair had been damaged a little bit and that it was also thinner. When you factor in that I basically took down 3 or 4 sets, I had started locks in the same area, so there was a lot of tension on my hair for about 3 to 4 weeks while I was working to put in the set that you see here before you. A lot went into this set. I actually have a shoulder injury from playing basketball with my rotator cuff on my right hand, on my right side, and it was really brutal. Putting in locks, taking them out, it took several hours doing that, and obviously I would make progress, I would undo that progress, and then it was just like a really bad cycle. And so that was very damaging on my shoulder. I'm wearing KT tape on it just to kind of use some therapy for it because I really need it. And so I think that if I had to retighten my hair once I'm due for a retightening, I probably would struggle a little bit and it would take me a lot longer than I think that it should. And that's just because of my shoulder. There's that update. It took me a long time to put this set in. I do have over 500 locks, as I was saying earlier. I have about 530ish, and I do need to recount them at some point to see where I am. So let's do a 360 and have a look at my hair. I'm going to take this headband off. I've been wearing these headbands just because I like wearing them. So the biggest thing that I wanted to focus on for this set was making sure that my center part was pretty straight. In the set that I had for 4 months, my center part actually wasn't straight, so I did have to do a lot of corrections for that set. I ended up keeping it for 4 months and then took it all down. So I really wanted to make sure that the things that bothered me in that set that I had for 4 months was corrected and addressed with this set. So my center part is pretty good. I do have this line here from ear to ear and then meeting all the way to the center. And then I really wanted to make sure that all of my rows connected all the way around. And I think I was able to achieve that for the most part. And we can just have a look and see what you guys notice. So this is the left side of my hair. What you will notice is that you can't really see my parts, and it's because I'm due for a retightening. Today is September 24th, and I'm due for a retightening on October 7th. So my hairline, you can see that more clearly just because it's my hairline, and that's where my hair is thinner from damage from wearing braids when I was younger. So my hair hasn't really grown back in the way I want it to, and my hairline on both sides. So you can see the parts of my hairline more clearly. I've also taken down some locks in this area, so that's why you can see some of my parts more clearly as well. So I was very picky about making sure that this lock returned in my very first set, where I had about 420 locks and my hair was shoulder length. I didn't have a lock right here, and so when my hair would grow out, I would obviously have like a big afro. Not a big afro, but I would have an afro along my hairline, and I didn't like that because when I got my hair retightened, my loctician, she would obviously pull in those little pieces of hair, but once my hair grew out basically, those little pieces would slip right out and the afro would return. So I really wanted those little pieces of hair to have a lock that they could stay in and not have me looking like I have a crazy afro at my hairline. So let's do a 360. So, when you were looking at my hair, you should have noticed a couple of things. You should have noticed that my nape had actually been retightened. I did have a lot of slippage there, so I wanted to correct it because I didn't want to continue washing my hair and then have those locks slip out. And then when I went to my loctician to get my first retightening, she would have a lot of repair work to do on those locks. So my nape is retightened, I think the first 4 or 5 rows. I also corrected something here in this area, so you can see that the parts are clear in this area. What happened was in this first row on this side, it kind of wasn't even, so instead of going in a straight line, it kind of went like this and got narrow. And so there are 2 locks here in this area that were too narrow, so that meant that to have enough hair in each lock, that section was very wide instead of being more like a square. So it was basically kind of like a rectangle and not like a boxy square. So that's something that I corrected, and for the most part, I'm kind of happy with my locks. I am concerned about something over here. I feel like my locks on this side are actually a lot smaller than they are on the other side. So let's do a quick comparison. So what I like about this set is that, one, I have a lot of locks, but it doesn't seem like my locks are super small, if that makes sense. There's less hair in each individual lock. It doesn't feel like my locks are ridiculously small to where they may snap off and break. I do have a few locks that I might be a little concerned about, but I want to see how they hold up after my first retightening, because my loctician will be able to look at them and to give me advice or feedback on what she thinks about my hair. She's obviously going to say something about them being smaller just because they're a lot smaller than the 2 sets that she had retightened before. It is going to be a little bit more money to retighten this set, just because it's close to 100 locks more than what I had before, and I paid about $120. So I'm anticipating that it will be between $120 and maybe $150, $160. So I have no idea what she's going to charge me. Obviously figure out at my retightening when she's able to evaluate my hair. And so I really just wanted to take this time to make a quick video and just update you guys on where I am in my hair journey right now. So just to briefly recap, this set had about 530 locks. It took me at least 15 to 20 hours to put this set in. I did it over a period of maybe about a week or so, and I did short shifts of about 4 to 5 hours after work each day. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, I obviously spent 8+ hours working on my hair. It took me about 15 to 20 hours, maybe longer than that. There were obviously some moments where I completed a section and then I went back and took it out and redid it to make it more to my liking. This set is also, as you can tell by the number of locks that I have, this set is obviously smaller than the 2 sets that I had before. So I'm curious to see how my hair will do with this smaller set of locks. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, I can try to answer those questions in my next video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, guys.